MotorWeek is made possible by Auto Value and Bumper to Bumper and TireRack.com.
When you see the letters GTS on any Porsche, you know you're in for something a little extra. Well, the latest little extra is something the 911 hasn't seen before, a true hybrid powertrain. But we're not talking about hypermiling here. As you'd expect from Porsche, this hybrid is all about adding performance. Much like the airplane opened the entire world to globe-trotting travelers, Porsche granted access to a whole new world of performance for driving enthusiasts when the first 911 arrived more than 60 years ago. And they've continued to elevate and rejuvenate the 911 ever since. 2025 marks the arrival of the 992.2. A mid-cycle refresh of the 8th Gen 911, which debuted for 2020. We've already hit the track in the standard Carrera, but this week we're stirring up the alphabet soup with the 2025 911 Carrera 4 GTS at Summit Point Motorsports Park. And any concerns we had about this middleweight's all-wheel drive system causing some understeer through the corners of the Summit Point circuit were alleviated almost immediately. Things were very well balanced, with the front wheels eager to turn in, while the Goodyear Eagle F1s provided the necessary grip to hold a steady line through the corners. Steering is perhaps not as lively as a rear-drive 911, but there's great feedback and it promptly goes wherever you point it. Power was more than plentiful, with big hits of immediate torque planted directly into the pavement, allowing us to exit turns with authority and without any drama. Which brings us to the heart of what this GTS is all about, and that is a first ever production hybrid powertrain for Porsche. This 3.6-liter, 6-cylinder based hybrid is known as the T-Hybrid, and the T doesn't stand for typical. The way Porsche does hybrid is of course different and all about delivering more performance, mostly coming down to integrating an electric motor into the 8-speed PDK transmission and sandwiching another between compressor and turbine wheels to drive the single turbocharger electronically. The result is a combined 532 horsepower and 449 pound-feet of torque. An added 1.9 kilowatt-hour battery is about the size of a standard 12-volt battery and stored up front. The hybrid system also allowed Porsche to eliminate the alternator and starter, as well as power the AC compressor electrically. The GTS is not a plug-in, and it's not designed to run on battery alone. Just add a hint of that EV-like propulsion into the mix and spin the turbo up without waiting around for exhaust gases to do it. After a brief pit stop for some liquid gas, it was off to Mason-Dixon Dragway, where the GTS sprinted to 60 in a neck-snapping 2.8 seconds. That's 0.2 quicker than the last 911 GTS we tested. Here, that instant thrust was even more noticeable, with PDK launch control perfectly managing traction to get to ludicrous speeds in a blink. Power delivery shuffled around between all four wheels almost the whole way down the track as the car searched for ultimate traction, finishing the quarter mile in 11 seconds flat at 129 miles per hour. Early in our second season of MotorWeek, a road test of Porsche's 944 served as a pleasant appetizer for 1983's 911 main course. Sure, it was a convertible, but with a quarter mile time of 14.5 seconds, we'd never gone so fast. We equated the acceleration experience to getting a swift kick in the backside from a foot encased in several pairs of heavy socks. Hosiery-based hyperbole aside, back in the present day, GTS brakes were solid feeling and more than up to the task at both of our test venues, stopping from 60 in just 84 feet. As to other unique GTS elements, active air flaps, adaptive front diffusers, GTS Sport exhaust, and the PASM Sport suspension lowered by about half an inch. Government fuel economy ratings are 17 city, 23 highway, and 19 combined. Yet somehow we managed to hypermile our way to 27.7 miles per gallon of premium. Government numbers equate to a slightly worse than average energy impact score of 15.7 barrels of annual oil use with 7.6 tons of CO2 emissions. Porsche perfection does not come cheap, however. The GTS is available in rear or all-wheel drive in coupe, cabriolet, and targa body styles starting at $166,895. More than any other brand, Porsche has been able to adapt new technologies and integrate electric propulsion into their vehicles without sacrificing performance or fundamentally changing their character in any way. So even if the T-hybrid system in the 2025 Porsche 911 Carrera GTS is yet another step closer to the complete electrification of the automotive industry, we're happy to be along for the ride.
The MotorWeek app, which includes our latest reviews and feature stories, is now available for mobile devices.